Hello everybody, it's Connor from Cinity Gaming and welcome to CGN for Sunday the 25th of October 2015. As you may have been able to tell, and if you watched last week, you may have noticed that Pete is absent once again because he's busy with family or something. I don't know what he does. But yeah, I think he's visiting someone today. So yeah, sadly he can't be with us to talk about games and what's coming out this week and the news. So yeah, let's crack on. And obviously, I'm sure most of you know the biggest release of this week is Halo 5 Guardians on the 27th. That is obviously exclusive to the Xbox One. We've got WWE 2K16. I still don't know why 2K insist on putting their name in the title. That is just a stupid idea. It's like calling, I don't know, Harry Potter, Harry Warner Brothers Potter or something. It's stupid. I don't know why they do it. If they're trying to publicise themselves, I wouldn't buy a game. Well, I don't know. If it's a good game, I might. But WWE, no. Particularly if it's got the company's name in the title. I think it's a bit stupid. Anyway, that's coming out on the Xbox One, PS4, Xbox 360, and PS3. We've got Darksiders 2 Definitive Edition. Not Definitive Edition, it's Definitive Edition. If you've noticed the spelling. That's coming out on the Xbox One and the PS4. Also on Tuesday, we've got loads of 16 rated games. Actually, all of them are 16 rated on Tuesday. We've got Divinity Original Sin Enhanced Edition. That's coming out on the Xbox One, PS4, PC, Mac and Linux. And finally, on Thursday the 29th of October, we've got Galak-Z, or as us British people would probably call it, Galak-Z, and obviously Galak-Z sounds like Galaxy. The Dimensional, that's coming out on the PC. So yeah, not many games this week. I think that's mainly because of a certain big game coming out. And obviously other games have got to try and then compete with it. So yeah, I think Halo would probably get most of the market share or most of the sales from this week. So understandably, other bigger games are waiting, like COD for next week. Although, to be fair, actually, COD usually does launch in November. And it kind of surprises me a bit, actually, Halo's coming out at the end of October. But, yeah, it's quite nice. Get to play it like a week or two earlier than usual. So, yeah, on to the news now, which we've got some good news and some bad news. This one is a bit of both. So, Black Ops 3 Season Pass details. So, I'm sure everybody's heard about Season Passes and stuff. So, new details have recently been released about the Season Pass for Activision's upcoming Call of Duty Black Ops 3. And unfortunately, it seems like there is more bad news for last-gen users. Looking at the good news first, the Season Pass will grant users access to all 4 DLCs. I was under the impression that there were 6 for this one, because I remember Activision saying when Sledgehammer was doing the last game that Treyarch would be doing 6 DLCs for this, not 4, but no, it seems like we're just getting the normal 4, which are obviously due to be released from January 2016 on PlayStation or February 2016 on Xbox and PC, as well as some bonus maps and content, including the Deriz remake, The Giant, and this is all for just £35. Unfortunately, though, there is some bad news for those still using last gen, with the main one being that the Season Pass will not be available at all on Xbox 360 or PS3, and only... and also Xbox 360 users and PS3 users will not be able to get the Giant Zombies map, meaning you need an Xbox One, PS4 or PC to benefit from this. So if you're a massive Deriz fan and you want the remake, sadly you're not going to get it on last gen. Which is kind of understandable in a way, because I think, if I'm right in saying, they sort of remastered it on Black Ops anyway. So yeah, it'd be quite nice to see it on Xbox One. and looking a bit nicer. PlayStation has also got the timed exclusivity for Black Ops 3, meaning that all DLC will be released on PlayStation 30 days prior to its launch on Xbox and PC. I absolutely hate timed exclusivity. Activision, I don't usually say things like that, especially on CGN, but I think you are absolute money-grabbing thieves for doing that. You don't care about gamers, you just care about making money, which is why they do so many timed exclusive deals with like Call of Duty and Destiny and stuff, just so they can get a bit of extra money. And then it means that people on a certain platform have got to wait for the game, or sorry, the DLC to be available for them. So PlayStation will have that first, and then obviously Xbox and PC, and then that's going to bring the console war back on, because people on PlayStation will be like, oh, well, we can get the COD DLCs first, so PlayStation's obviously better. So yeah, I hate arguing over consoles. I genuinely do, and it's a bit babyish, to be honest. But Activision are, well, one of the things I would say that contributes to the argument with their timed exclusivity. But I also I do very much disagree with the Rise of the Tomb Raiders exclusivity as well, because that's going to be on Xbox One a year before it comes out on PS4, which I think is ridiculous. So yeah, timed exclusives, I don't agree with it. I think it should just come out on all of them at once. I don't mind exclusives, so like Halo, for example, but timed exclusives, no, because it just seems a bit unfair and it's pointless, and it's just another way that Sony can give away billions of pounds or whatever to Activision to line their pockets and just say, oh, well, you can get it first if you give us millions of dollars or whatnot. So yeah, I think it's just pure greed, all of this. But season pass I do agree with, because obviously you can get you can get the content a bit cheaper then, because I think you save just over $5 for all of this, which isn't too bad. But yeah, it's still a saving either way. Anyway, I've blabbered on too much about this, and I must move on. So, Sony may be giving up on the PS Vita, or it certainly seems like it anyway, because it recently emerged that Sony could be calling it a day with the PS Vita, as head of Sony's Computer Entertainment confirms in an interview that there will be that there are no first-party games in development for the PS Vita, and it appears that this has been the case for a while now. The interview itself was in Japanese, and the information in English, or the translation in English, is a bit sketchy, from what I've read. But it does seem that Sony are mainly focusing on the PS4, and that they are leaving the PS Vita to third-party developers, with various different companies still developing for the system. So that's not too good, actually, because the PS Vita is not even that old. I think I mentioned it, but yeah, it's about 4 years old, I've just mentioned at the bottom. And they've already stopped making content for it. I mean, in a way I can understand, because the PS4 is their main product, but it's still like it's not like a successor to anything. Sorry, the PS4 isn't a successor to the PS Vita. So, yeah, I'm a bit confused as to why they're not going to do it. I mean, it could just be with money, or it's not worth it, which, fair enough, if it is. So, while Sony are not making any more games for the system, they are still supporting it and bringing out updates for it. So, that's something, at least. The PS Vita has been around for nearly 4 years now, after it originally launched in Japan in December 2011. So, yeah, 4 years old, eh? I got a PSP, and I haven't played that for years, because to be honest I didn't really like it. So yeah, that's a true fact, actually. That's what converted me to Xbox, because I saw that the PSP and the PS3 had a very similar interface, and I hated the PSP's interface. So I went with Xbox after I finished with my PlayStation 2. So yes. Anyway, finally, massive day one patch for Halo 5. I was absolutely devastated when I read this, because I might not get to play it now when it comes out. So many games these days are launched alongside a day one patch to help improve a few bugs or to make some minor tweaks. However, Halo fans may have to wait a while before they can actually play Halo 5 Guardians, as it recently emerged that there will be a whopping 9 GB day one patch. That is ridiculously large. The reason for the update being so large is because it's set to include various multiplayer content that wasn't originally going to be available at launch. One of these being big team battles, which I was quite shocked to see actually a while ago when I saw that they weren't going to be doing that at launch. However, the content is now ready and will be launched alongside the game. But obviously, because it's obviously already been put onto discs, the content isn't on the discs, so they've then got to send it out in a patch or an update. This 9 GB adds to the already high 60 GB installation, meaning many fans may have to wait some time before they can enjoy Halo 5 Guardians. I may also have to wait some time before I can install any more games on my Xbox, because if you are in the preview program and you have the new Xbox One Experience preview installed, you may have noticed that your Xbox One cannot currently format external hard drives. The feature is actually there, it's just broken. I think Microsoft are aware of it, but yeah, it's a bit of a pain because I can't format my new hard drive to work for games and apps. So I might have to ask Pete very nicely if he'll do it for me, because I've heard that that's a workaround to do it. But hopefully, for those of you who don't have a friend that can help you, Microsoft will sort it out fairly soon. But I suppose that's one of the risks that you have to be prepared for when you volunteer to try out beta software. I mean, I think the new Xbox One experience is really good. But again, yeah, like that, there are a few small issues with it that just need a little bit of a tweaking. But yeah, I think the new Xbox One experience is coming along nicely, actually. And I look forward to it being publicly released in November, which I'm sure we'll probably do something about or mention in CGN in the future. So yeah, hopefully I haven't bored you to death, because I know Pete spices it up a bit with adding some stupid witty comments as he always does. So hopefully it's been alright this week. Hopefully I haven't bored you to death. So yeah, I hope you all have a good week. And we'll see you, well, I will see you some other time. And Pete's obviously back in the normal videos tomorrow. So yeah, have a good week and bye-bye.